Hello viewers, it's Josie. Welcome to Positive Poems, where I read positive and inspiring poems to help uplift your day. And today, as you know, if you're watching this the day it is released, it is election day. And I'm not gonna go into all the talk about political chaos. That's not what this channel is for. But, I mean, I'm gonna hint at it because I'm gonna read two poems today, two complementary poems, one of which is called The Old Tower, and the other one is called The New Earth School. And basically, I was inspired to write this poem after reading the book Caste by Isabel Wilkerson. And if you have not read this book, read it. It is brilliant. It is so provocative, blunt, and honest. And I think it will go down in history with like muckraking books, kind of like The Jungle by Upton Sinclair, or even Uncle Tom's Cabin by Harriet Beecher Stowe. This book should be studied in schools. And at the beginning, early in the book, she gives a metaphor of an old house representing the United States. And I'm going to read a little excerpt of it, and then I'm going to get into the two poems. Okay. The inspector trained his infrared lights onto a misshapen bow in the ceiling, an invisible beam of light searching the layers of lath to test what the eye could not see. This house had been built generations ago, and I had noticed the slightest welt in a corner of plaster in the spare bedroom, and had chalked it up to idiosyncrasy. Over time, the welt in the ceiling became a wave that widened and bulged despite the new roof. It had been building beyond perception for years. An old house is its own kind of devotional, a dowager aunt with a story to be coaxed out of her, a mystery, a series of interlocking puzzles awaiting solutions. Why is this soffit tucked into the southeast corner of an eave? What is behind this discolored patch of brick? With an old house, the work is never done, and you don't expect it to be. America is an old house. We can never declare the work over. Wind, flood, drought, and human upheavals batter a structure that is already fighting whatever flaws were left unattended in the original foundation. When you live in an old house, you may not want to go into the basement after a storm to see what the rains have wrought. Choose not to look, however, at your own peril. The owner of an old house knows that whatever you are ignoring will never go away. Whatever is lurking will fester whether you choose to look or not. Ignorance is no protection from the consequences of inaction. Whatever you are wishing away will gnaw at you until you gather the courage to face what you would rather not see. Now, another inspiration for this poem was the Tower card from Tarot. And the name of the poem is called, as I said, The Old Tower. Now, without further ado, let me go on with the two poems. A country is no different than an old tower site. Above rotted cement, one with broken glass, dust mites, rusted pipes, and bent nails, and windows covered with thin veils, shielding deep ruptures, fissures, and toxins that the tenants ignore, become pathogens lurking from the floor as they mutate. Ignoring is not protection. It's time to reevaluate the building foundation. If not disclosed, if we don't get raw, the lurking shadows will continue to gnaw. Running from fears doesn't make them disappear. Rather, admitting the old system is now an obsolete foundation. Time for a complete reconstruction, production time for a new paradigm. And the second poem is The New Earth School, and this Gary Zukov talks about the Earth School a lot in The Seed of the Soul. I've referenced this book on a previous video. And funny enough, Gary Zukov references the caste system. And in the chapter on reverence, he says, "It is not possible for a reverent person to exploit his or her friends, coworkers, city, nation, or planet. It is not possible for a reverent species to create caste systems, child labor, nerve gas, or nuclear weapons. Therefore, it is not possible for a reverent person or a reverent species to accumulate the type of karma that such activities create." Why is this? What is reverence? Reverence is engaging in a form and a depth of contact with life that is well beyond the shell of form and in intro essence. Reverence is contact with the essence of each thing and person and plant and bird and animal. It is the contact with the interior of beingness. Okay, now let's move on to the Earth School. The New Earth School, sorry. This is the New Earth School. I will be your guide. Just like the fool, you will be on a ride. You'll learn the traditional subjects, English, history, science, and arithmetic, but in a different context. Power from the authentic, learning to explore rather than studying to complete a chore or test mastering. Enjoying activities from heart-centered poetry to sacred geometry and all types of artistry. Learning to draw, viewing animals with awe, expanding social circles by learning chants, memorizing mantras, growing plants, connecting with Pachamama, dancing with joy, in diverse unity, whether girl, boy, or cultural identity. For true reverence is academic excellence. I know the first poem was a little darker than my other poems, but I hope these two poems brought hope and faith for people in these crazy times. If you like this video, then you could press the like button and subscribe, and you'll be notified for more positive poems and eclectic movie reviews and updates. You can also follow me on Instagram at Positive Poems. Also, Eclectic Movie Updates is my other Instagram for movie-related stuff. And yeah, well, have a good election day. And remember, go vote. Anyway, goodbye for now. Wishing peace for all.